Well, this is not really unexpected whatsoever. This is pretty fucking expected. Uh, and it mostly pertains to these sort of further, I guess, mainstreaming of our favorite cosmopolitan gay Hispanic Nick Fuentes, our favorite guy. Of course, we love Nick Fuentes. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We actually fucking hate him. It's one of those things where I don't think anyone should be really surprised whatsoever that a lot of the Indians that are seemingly pretending to be like Israelis or like a Deus Vult LARPers on the internet are seemingly having a tough time. We'll say tough time acclimating to the current environment that is being sort of pushed out there, specifically by the right. And we all know that these motherfuckers have been going after people like Vivek Ramaswamy and Usha Vance, right? With the whole recent Erica Kirk debacle, I guess for lack of a better term. Yeah, we'll call it a debacle. Where he was like hugging Erica Kirk, and JD Vance has talked about before how he wishes his wife was a Christian or some shit. It's fucking complete utter LARP shit with these motherfuckers. Like JD Vance is an unironic like little groiper fascist fucking freak. Same with like all these other like dumbass Christo fascist dipshits. They're all in it for the money. None of these people have any actual fucking beliefs. Same with Vivek Ramaswamy. He's just looking to play to a fucking particular crowd. But the crowd that he's trying to play to hates his guts. Like, we'll get to like the fucking racism. Like, unironically, fucking Nick Fuentes, and we'll cover this once we get to the whole next individual set of individuals we're going to be talking about here, or individual rather, has talked about how can JD Vance be a savior for the white race, for the white identity, if he married a fucking Jeet. And it should be fairly obvious what Fuentes means by that. Why the fuck are you race mixing, little bro? Because we all know, Fuentes, if there is one thing he is consistent on, is just his fucking racism. He is incredibly fucking racist. This, our favorite sort of cosmopolitan homosexual, Nicholas J. Fuentes. He loves saying slurs about minority individuals. That's like his fucking favorite thing to do. He loves that shit. So I mean, we shouldn't be really surprised whatsoever that he's just I don't know, they're willing to be incredibly fucking racist to people like Vivek Ramaswamy. Well, not just Fuentes, of course. This is not just a thing that's synonymous with Nick Fuentes. This is a thing that is synonymous with every far right individual that it currently occupies positions within, I would say, the fucking government. It's all of them. This is a sort of like consistent pattern of behavior, I guess, for like lack of a better term. Yeah, let's just go with it's a consistent pattern of behavior. Like, of course, these guys, these like weirdo far right fucking freaks, would just be all incredibly fucking racist and incredibly fucking prejudiced to those that do not have white skin. Because, again, the point of all of this for these guys, it is the ethno-nationalism overall. Like, that's what they truly fucking care about. It is about the fucking racism of first order fucking principles with these guys. Like, they want the fucking ethno state, man. And, well, it doesn't matter, like, if you do the whole, like, song and dance of, like, oh, look at me, I'm such a good little Christian boy and everything. Look at how good of a Christian I am. That's not going to do anything. Like, unironically, with motherfuckers like Vivek Ramaswamy, he had Ann Coulter on his, I don't know, stupid dumbass podcast. And Ann Coulter, to his fucking face, said, like, I would never vote for you because you're Indian. Like, she just unironically, she just, like, said it. She just said that shit, and it's just like, well, that's pretty blatant. And, I don't know, obvious? Like, kind of duh. And yeah, he like you're saying, Boy Meets Me, he just, like, accepted it. He didn't give a fuck. He was just like, yeah, Yeah, totally. And he just like cowered out like a little bitch, and it's just like, goddamn, he just fucking took that like a little bitch. It's crazy. So it's one of those situations where it's like I'm not really surprised at all whatsoever that these guys, all these like I don't know super based trad like I don't know white identitarian types might have some problems with the fact that there are a bunch of Indians that are more and more so trying to become part of their movement. Same with Zionists, by the way. We all know about the fucking bot accounts on fucking Twitter talking about look at all these fucking Indians and Pakistanis and shit. Engagement, bot farming, and all this fucking bullshit. Right? They're all over the fucking place on Twitter, especially because of Elon Musk's takeover and whatnot. I like he's only made the sort of I don't know inevitability of this like way fucking worse. Yeah, Inevitable West, right? Like that dude is an Indian. There's like another one called Vivid. Vivid something is also fucking Indian and shit like that. Like these people are all just a bunch of fucking charlatans and fucking freaks. Like we should not be really surprised by this under any fucking circumstance. That all these like dumbasses are just a bunch of like racist larpy fucking dipshits. But here's the fucking thing: no one on their side that they purport to be supportive of wants them. They don't want them. Like nobody wants this, and it's causing a bit of a fucking schism because there are people who have said like, dog, we need to do something about the coalition. It's gonna fucking start falling apart, man. Like it's not good unless we have a more broader coalition. And I mean, it sort of plays to how this is all just like liberal fucking fascists. It's all liberal fucking fascism with these people, right? Like, they're not willing to go whole hog more often than not because to go whole hog in this particular instance, it means that you actually have to fucking stand for something and you have to be willing to die for the cause. And here's the thing with all these fucking dumbass fascists and pundits and whatnot, and all these idiots who push the same old, tired, white nationalist fucking messaging, they don't have fucking skin in the game. They don't have the sauce. They don't actually want to do any of this stuff. They're like, fuck no, this shit ain't fucking worth it. I was just trying to make a buck, and that's it. All these motherfuckers are grifters, including Ben Shapiro and Nick Fuentes. So Ben Shapiro, similar to all these Indians that are trying to get into the sort of good graces of white nationalists and whatnot, because again, this white nationalism and going after fucking Indians is what is in right now. Unironically, okay? Like, if you think otherwise, then you're on that fucking cope shit, okay? You're huffing that fucking copium pack. This is what is in right now. It is just, like, rather blatant fucking racism from these motherfucking people, right? That's the point. And it's one of those things where it's just like, I'm not really surprised by this whatsoever. This has been consistent. The point is the fucking white ethno-state for the end of these people. But if it also can sprinkle in some anti-Semitism at the same time, well, that's just a little treat. So Ben Shapiro, and this is a broader pattern of behavior that I've also talked about in the past as well, where we know as a byproduct of him being incredibly smarmy and Jewish, more specifically Jewish, that this motherfucker, Ben Shapiro, is not going to resonate all that well with the new far right, which is just a bunch of neo-Nazis. That's like what these young Republicans basically want. I mean, given the fact that their group chats fucking leaked, they were all incredibly fucking racist-ass dipshits. They want the fucking white nationalism. They want the racism. They like the fucking Hitler shit. This sort of, I don't know, like smarmy, loser-looking head-ass fucking neoconservatism and Zionism. If people don't want it anymore, they've had enough. So guess what? Time for the inevitable sort of conclusion to happen, where it's just like, well, now it's time for everything to be all white nationalism and all fucking neo-Nazism. And you want to know, unironically, the thing that spurred this, I think, schism and really kicked it into fucking overdrive, unironically, I think the Charlie Kirk assassination. This stuff was already fucking brewing, but I think it's been getting worse and worse and worse, especially with the Trump administration being currently in power, especially going after stuff like H-1B visas, giving the permission structure for a lot of that stuff, but also simply due to the fact that nobody, and I mean nobody, wants any more of the sort of like liberal cringe ass like sort of fascism sort of bit. They want the fucking white nationalism. They want the white ethno state. They want the fucking racism. That's what these people want. But Ben Shapiro, in response to the I suppose rather viral episode of both Fuentes and Tucker Carlson having their, I don't know, Nazi fucking power hour, unironically, because again, I mean, we are talking about just a collection of fucking grifters and sycophants. The thing with Tucker Carlson is he is also a grifter. He's willing to just say anything at all in order to make some fucking money. Like, Tucker Carlson is a grifter. Nothing that comes out of Tucker Carlson's mouth, under any circumstance, should be broadly believed. Like, at all. He is a grifter through and through. And same with a lot of these other fucking conservative pundits. I think, like, even Nick Fuentes, to a certain extent, is also a grifter, because he will consistently shift his beliefs and ideology and what he thinks about certain things if it can have a particular goal or purpose be fulfilled for the time, right? So he'll, like, I don't know, play nice with certain minority populations if it is a politically efficacious position for him to do as such, and will do otherwise if it is not, because he doesn't believe in anything. So this is Ben Shapiro, who's been losing a lot of prominence because of the emergence of white nationalists and also, well, neo-Nazis generally speaking, and people just not being a big fan of the smarmy Jew neocon archetype. But yeah, Ben Shapiro here. No to groypers, no to cowards like Tucker Carlson who normalize their trash, no to those who champion them, no to demoralization, no to bigotry, and no to anti-meritocratic horseshit, no to anti-Americanism. Why don't we take a look at this?
Hey folks, I want to do something different on today's show. We're going to cover one topic in depth. That topic is, I think, the most important thing happening in the country. It's a hot topic.
Yes,
exactly. I want to take some time to really gather my thoughts and speak on it in coherent fashion, holistic fashion. That topic is the fragmentation of the political right. That fragmentation is being caused purposefully by a splinter faction of people led by a young man named Nick Fuentes. They call themselves the groypers. They are white supremacists. They hate women, Jews, Hindus, many types of Christians, brown people of a wide variety of backgrounds, blacks, America's foreign policy, and America's Constitution. They admire Hitler and Stalin.
Okay. Here's the because Ben Shapiro. Here's the thing with Ben Shapiro. Okay, he's not wrong when he says this stuff. He is correct because let's remind ourselves here real quick. He's not wrong about these positions. He's accurate in what he is saying. The problem is that he also hates these exact same fucking groups. It rings rather hollow because he too also fucking hates Jews, Muslims, Indian people, all of these fucking factions. He hates them all as well. So it's very intriguing to me that he's complaining about this shit in particular when it's just like, dog, you're no different than any of these people. You're just upset about the fact that there's a bunch of neo-Nazis, which was kind of I've talked about this before, I would say the rather inevitable conclusion of the Republican Party. Like, let's keep it $1.50. Let's be quite honest here. This was always going to happen. It was inevitable. It was always a matter of if and not when. And like you said, Alex, yeah, this is also a broader sort of byproduct of Israel also falling in the fucking polls and people just being, well, let's be honest here, more and more openly fucking neo-Nazi and fucking anti-Semitic, which is not surprising because the Republican Party and conservatism has been, yet again, flirting with this fucking ideology. You know, I've talked about this before, but history has a very, very funny way of constantly rhyming, but never repeating. But it likes to rhyme quite often.
And that splinter faction is now being facilitated and normalized within the mainstream Republican Party. The main agent in that normalization is Tucker Carlson, who is an intellectual coward, a dishonest interlocutor, and a terrible friend. And Tucker Carlson last week was aided, abetted, celebrated for normalizing Nazism within the Republican Party by the mainstay organization of the traditional right, the Heritage Foundation. Now, before we explain what's been happening.
Okay, so when I did my coverage on, terrible friend, by the way, extremely fucking cowardly. Because again, like, Tucker Carlson is a fucking grifter. He doesn't believe in anything. The only reason why he's dabbling in neo-Nazi conspiracism is just due to the fact that he is just a grifter and he's trying to play to a particular audience. Or, and I've heard this on the grapevine, I'm not going to count it out, could be potentially running for president in 2028. Let me go ahead and grab the Heritage Foundation, because I should have talked about this clip in the original normalizing of Nick Fuentes video, because this was something that was also put out relatively soon after that fucking podcast episode that they had. Here's the fucking clip in particular. So, Heritage Foundation, we all know, if we're talking about the abhorrence that is Project 2025, the people to blame are these motherfuckers right here. They are the guys to fucking blame. These dipshits. And in terms of, like, all these, like, a lot of these, like, Supreme Court challenges to civil rights legislation and a bunch of other bullshit, these guys are the ones that you blame for all of that. They are the main sort of interlocutors for essentially wanting to destroy the fucking federal government in the state that is in the United States of America. It's these fucking guys. And we all know that, broadly speaking, the sentiments of the podcast that both Fuentes and Tucker Carlson had was both celebrated and also condemned by factions within the Republican Party. We've looked at the more neocon-y, like, moderate conservatives, like your Brad Plumbos of the world, for example. And also all the, like, neo-Nazi fucking freaks. But here's the thing. This is, like, mostly a social media battle. And who are the people that are going to be way fucking louder? It's going to be the fucking Nazis. Like, they're the ones who make all the fucking Sonnenrad edits and the other fucking bullshit. But what do we have here, specifically from this Heritage Foundation fucking goon?
I'll have more to say on this in the coming days.
Roberts, that's what it is.
But today I want to be clear about one thing. Christians can critique the state of Israel without being anti-Semitic. And of course, anti-Semitism should be condemned. My loyalty as a Christian and as an American is to Christ first and to America always. When it serves the interest of the United States to cooperate with Israel and other allies, we should do so, with partnerships on security, intelligence, and technology. But when it doesn't, conservatives should feel no obligation to reflexively support any foreign government, no matter how loud the pressure becomes from the globalist class or from their mouthpieces in Washington. The Heritage Foundation didn't become the intellectual backbone of the conservative movement by canceling our own people or policing the consciences of Christians. And we won't start doing that now. We don't take direction from comments on X, though we are grateful for the robust free speech debate. We also don't take direction from members or donors, though we are inherently grateful for their support. And we're adding more every day.
Yeah, globalist class. Like, you can already hear there's all the inherent sort of, like, dumb fuck, idiot fucking conspiracism already at work. Like, these guys they're all incredibly fucking anti-Semitic. They hate the fucking Jews. They hate them. Yeah, you can tell the Hitler particles are fucking coming off of these guys. Pretty fucking fierce. Like, that's not fucking ridiculous to say, Boy Meets Vinny. Yeah, you can practically smell the fucking particles from here. Like I've been saying before, these guys are Nazis. All of these guys are incredibly fucking far-right fucking freaks. And they'll do all the tropes and everything, and they are all incredibly fucking racist. Like, these people are charlatans, they are freaks. Nothing they say can be believed or fucking trusted under any fucking circumstance. They will lie about as much as they fucking breathe. So anything that they say should be taken with a grain of fucking salt, and they will often speak in highly coded fucking language.
This is the robust debate we invite with our colleagues, our movement friends, our members, and the American public. We will always defend.
Oh, also, yeah, by the way, I've talked about this before, but making Twitter be a free speech platform with no fucking TOS is a way to shut down free speech, to make free speech as ineffective as possible. But, you know, I've talked about that before.
And truth. We will always defend America, and we will always defend our friends against the slander of bad actors who serve someone else's agenda. That includes Tucker Carlson, who remains, and as I have said before, always will be a close friend of the Heritage Foundation. The venomous coalition attacking him are sowing division. Their attempt to cancel him will fail. Most importantly, the American people expect us to be focusing on our political adversaries on the left, not attacking our friends on the right. I disagree with, and even abhor, things that Nick Fuentes says. But canceling him is not the answer either. When we disagree with a person's thoughts and opinions, we challenge those ideas in debate. And we have seen success in this approach, as we continue to dismantle the vile ideas of the left. As my friend Vice...
Yeah, but he's like, here's the thing. None of these guys are actively challenging anything that Nick Fuentes is saying. Like, this guy is not actively challenging anything at all that Nick Fuentes actively believes in or says. Like, there is no fundamental challenge that's being raised here. They are just like, guys, can we just not be so blatant about being mask off right now? Like, we're kind of unpopular right now. It's not politically great for us at the moment. Like, can we just like relax a little bit with like the rhetoric and everything at the moment? Like, it's like we're not in a good spot right now, politically speaking. Everyone fucking hates our guts. So it's just like, yeah, I wonder why in particular a lot of people might not be liking a lot of the things the Republican Party is pushing for. I couldn't possibly think of anything.
As President Vance said last night, what I am not okay with is any country coming before the interest of American citizens, and it is important for all of us, assuming we are American citizens, to put the interest of our own country first. That's where our allegiance lies, and that's where it will stay.
Yeah, so effectively just zero fucking pushback. Listen, I've talked about this before, but I do think to a certain extent that there should be a return with a V for fucking cancel culture, because goddamn, a lot of these motherfuckers need to be fucking canceled. Their bullshit. So, given the fact that that is what we've seen like clips of the Tucker Carlson episode. Yeah, it was just the fucking neo-Nazi fucking power hour. Like, it was just a bunch of like conspiracism, far right fucking bullshit, because again, that's what currently sells in the Republican Party right now. And that's generally speaking what's going to play best to social media, and what are the avenues and arenas that are for both, like, say, Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson, where they make most of their bucks from. Where does their, I don't know, cheese get cheddared or some shit? I don't remember exactly how the saying goes. But where does their bread get buttered? Oh, it's online with a bunch of, like, far-right fascistic fucking freaks. Like, this is their main fucking audience. So you shouldn't really be surprised whatsoever that these guys are basically embracing more and more, like, far-right fucking ideological bullshit. You shouldn't be surprised by this whatsoever. This was inevitability when the Republican Party started flirting with more further right-leaning ideologies and beliefs ever since the times of Reagan. Like, let's be quite honest here. But, you know, back to our big boy over here, Ben Shapiro.
Let's make one thing clear. This is not about free speech or cancellation. It was never about free speech or cancellation. Free speech has a definition: the right to speak free of governmental coercion. I believe in it, of course. I've always defended it. Criticism of bad speech is, in fact, just a form of free speech. Cancellation also has a definition: banning of particular people, including people like Nick Fuentes, from platforms like X or Facebook. I believe that Nick Fuentes is odious and despicable, but I've never called for his cancellation. And in fact, I've called for his restoration to those services, despite the fact that I think he's odious and despicable. It is not cancellation to draw moral lines between viewpoints. In fact, we used to call that one of the key aspects of conservatism. It is not cancellation to refuse to signal boost Hitler supporters like Nick Fuentes. It is not cancellation to criticize Tucker Carlson for rhetorically fluffing Nick Fuentes and other anti-American crackpots. It's not cancellation if you urge others to stop promoting those who rhetorically fluff Nazi apologists. Those are all.
So, because this is the problem with, like, people like Ben Shapiro. They have to pretend to be, like, these free speech fucking absolutists, when in reality, none of these people are free speech absolutists. It's all just it's all a canard for these people. Like, it's something titillating that sounds good on paper, but in practice, whenever they actually try to do it, they are liars. They actually do not ever fucking practice what they fucking preach when it comes to these supposed principles that they are holding. Like, none of these people actually care about fucking free speech. Like, it's a complete fucking shit show. Like, they don't believe in any of this fucking shit. It's all a fucking lie. And in reality, like, if the right wing can cancel people and are incredibly fucking cancel happy, like, very, very fucking often, it's just cancel happy for, like, leftist fucking shit. Though, like, they will go after you if you believe in, like, leftist to principles and ideas. Like, there's no scruples with these people. They are all, like, charlatans and grifters, which is why, like, he's not wrong with what he's saying, but the problem is that it rings hollow from him. Like, Ben Shapiro would cancel you if you were in support of BDS. 1000%. He would. It's just different fucking priorities from these people. And Ben Shapiro is going to talk about people being anti-Semitic and fucking racist. Ben Shapiro is also incredibly anti-Semitic and fucking racist himself. Like, he is a fucking rabid Zionist. And Zionists are all incredibly fucking anti-Semitic and fucking racist. So, it's one of those cases where it's just like, I mean, okay, you could say all this stuff, and that's fine and all, but it rings, like, rather fucking hollow when it comes from someone like you, Bubby. Like, this shit ain't passing the fucking smell test, my man.
Elements of free speech. And anyone who says differently is lying to you, and lying for the most cynical reasons, to misdirect from their own defense of those Nazi apologists and their promoters. The issue here isn't that Tucker Carlson had Nick Fuentes on his show last week. He has every right to do that, of course. The issue here is that Tucker Carlson decided to normalize and fluff Nick Fuentes, and that the Heritage Foundation then decided to robustly defend that performance. Those who criticize both Tucker and Heritage aren't canceling. They are quite properly drawing a moral line. So, for the
this is, like, here's the thing, because you can't, like, this is a line that's impossible to draw. You can't draw this line. These are incongruent positions. You should not allow the existence of fucking Nazis and conspiratorial fucking freaks within your movement. That's a failed fucking movement, inherently speaking. Like, that's why I say that conservatism is, it's not gonna fucking survive. Like, this schism was something that was going to be inevitable, because we all know that these motherfuckers have been flirting with incredibly far-right ideologies for the latter part of, like, 4 decades at this point. Thanks, Ronald Reagan. They've been wanting this for as long as I can fucking remember. They've been wanting the fucking white ethno-state for quite a fucking while now. So it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, this shit's not gonna work out in the way that you think it is, because, dog, like, all of the people that you fucking simp for, all these, like, far-right fascistic fucking freaks, dog, they're gonna put you on the chopping block eventually, Bubby. Like, just like how they're trying to put, like, literally anyone with even the slightest of fucking brown skin, like Vivek fucking Ramaswamy, even though he'll, like, bend over and always, like, present for the fucking cameras for his, like, superior white fucking daddies. Like, this was inevitable, man.
For those who don't understand what's going on, let's begin with Nick Fuentes. Now, as I mentioned, last week, Tucker Carlson had on Nick Fuentes. Fuentes is a 27-year-old man who's dubbed himself the leader of a movement called the Groypers. He has a large audience of alienated young white men in particular, and he's earned increased media attention over the course of the past few years, especially over the last year. Now, from Tucker Carlson's interview, you might have gathered that Fuentes has some borderline views on race, a peculiar obsession with what he calls organized Jewry, and a rather sad relationship with the female sex. But probably you can away thinking that, for the most part, Fuentes lives on the radical edge of normality. You think that if you watch the interview, because Tucker Carlson decided that it was important not only to host Fuentes, but to smooth over his views, water them down, and make them far more palatable to a normal audience. As we'll discuss in a bit, this is what Tucker Carlson does for a living. But back to Nick Fuentes. To understand just what Tucker did here, we must actually examine what Nick Fuentes says on his show, and has said for almost a decade, because he was asked precisely 0 questions about any of what you're about to see by Tucker Carlson. Nick Fuentes says women want to be raped.
Are we getting a fucking clip compilation? Dude, that's so fucking funny. Wait, hasn't Ben Shapiro also done the exact same fucking bullshit for, like, lefty fucking women? Like, again, like, this is why, like, he's not wrong when he's saying this, but the criticism rings rather hollow coming from him. Because Ben Shapiro is also okay with all these exact same fucking things. But again, with, like, people like Nick Fuentes, he's willing to say all of the abhorrent, evil fucking shit with, like, a full chest. He's not going to be a fucking pussy about it. Whereas with all these, like, liberal fascist types, like Ben Shapiro, and a lot of people within these sort of, like, minorities within, like, the fucking MAGA movement, they're not willing to fucking go the full 9 yards in terms of wanting to be like, I don't know about all this white nationalism fucking stuff. Guys, can we just, like, push for, like, Heckin-based conservatorinoism? And it's just like, no, like, this is not what they want, man. Like, it's becoming more and more clear that if you want to be successful now within the fucking Republican Party, door's been opened, man. And it's been opened for a while. It's all about the fucking white nationalism, brother. Like, it's not happening, dude.
A lot of women want to be raped. And when I say raped, I mean, like, that sounds bad when I say it like that. But there's, like, a lot of women that really want a guy to beat the shit out of them. But also, they have...
Oh, and real quick, so far, In terms of the best response to this, cowardly. Listen, I saw this from my boy Mehdi Hassan, and I'm just like, I have to get this. I just have to grab this, and he's exactly correct. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking cowardly.
Have to pretend, but part of it is have to pretend like they don't.
Nick Fuentes says that his followers should kill, rape, and die in his name.
Raise your right hand. All right, everybody, raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I will kill, rape, and die for Nicholas J. Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes says that women are whores who shouldn't be in politics.
I will continue my crusade against women in politics. Because it's always like this, and it's so ironic. Women are like, I don't like, when you say, I like it, you have to affect the face. When you say to repeal the 19th Amendment, that offends me. That hurts my feelings. It's like, have you ever stopped and considered that maybe if you get offended, there's such a strong emotional reaction to political opinions you disagree with across the board. Maybe that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't be making political decisions. I'm not attacking women. I'm attacking whores. You have no problems, right? I'm attacking whores. I'm attacking sluts. Stupid, dirty bitches.
Nick Fuentes says that Jim Crow was actually better for black people.
It was better for them too. Number one, but number two, who cares? Who cares?
I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, Nick Fuentes is dog shit. But Ben Shapiro also believes in rather similar things. Like, this is not surprising. Ben Shapiro, in his decade of existence as a political fucking pundit, yeah, like, PragerU also believes in the exact same things. Thank you, Alex. Like, you've inoculated the broader sort of right wing and given the permission structure for all of these, like, thoughts and beliefs, buddy. Like, you had a part to play in all of this. PragerU also thinks that the 19th should be repealed. Same with Steven Crowder. Same with a lot of these other motherfuckers that you called your friends throughout your time as a fucking pundit, buddy. Like, it's insane to me, dude. Like, bro, if you were so fucking concerned about all of your fucking conservatorino butterinos potentially being miserable piles of fucking garbage, then why were you fucking simping for them and trying to do, like, content with them and agreeing with them on a lot of their thoughts and fucking beliefs on different stuff? Like, buddy, this is the conservative movement. This has always been the fucking conservative fucking movement, bro. Like, it's just, it rings hollow to me. Like, this was always gonna fucking happen, bros. Always gonna fucking happen.
Who cares? You know, enough with the Jim Crow stuff. Who cares? Oh, they had to drink out of a different water fountain. Big fucking deal. Oh no, they had to go to a different school. Their water fountain in that famous picture was worse. Who cares? Grow up, drink out of the fucking water fountain. It's just water. It's the same. You know, and, you know, even if it was bad, who cares? Who cares? It's better. It's better in general. We all agree it's better for them. It's better for us. It's better in general.
Nick Fuentes says that white people are justified in being racist.
The reason that we talk about this, by the way, I know a lot of black people see this and they go, man, why are you always talking about black people, this and that? Because there just needs to be some shame here. Well, there's a few reasons. First, white people are every single bit justified in being racist. Every single bit justified, to the extent that that means going out of your way to avoid black people when you see them.
Nick Fuentes is a Hitler admirer and a Holocaust denier.
Buddy, it's Führer Friday. It is Hitler Friday. Shut up. It is Heil Hitler Friday, nigga. Heil Hitler. All my niggas Nazis.
Hitler was a pedophile and kind of a pagan. It's like,
Have I ever mentioned how much of a fucking loser Nick Fuentes is, dude? Jesus Christ.
well, he was also really fucking cool. So, you know, time to grow up. We're not children anymore. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right, boys? Am I right? Let's go. He was also really fucking cool. It doesn't really sound correct to me. Wait a second. It takes 1 hour to cook a batch of cookies, and you have 15 ovens, probably in 4 different kitchens, right? Doing 24 hours a day every day for 5 years. How long would it take you to make 6 million?
Oh, this is the fucking Nick Fuentes classic right here, where he's doing the fucking cookie memes.
I don't know. It certainly wouldn't be 5 years, right? The math doesn't seem to add up there. The math doesn't quite seem to add up there. I don't think you'd result in 6 million, maybe 200 to 300,000 cookies. And I think the Red Cookie Association said something like that, probably 200 to 300,000 cookies baked, probably. And in addition, you know, in this hypothetical, I imagine that if you took aerial photographs over the kitchens, you would need to see certain smokestacks to release the smoke from baking the cookies, and the smokestacks would project certain shadows, but I guess they're not visible in the aerial.
So is this just going to be mostly a clip compilation? We know all this, right? Like, we know about all the incel-y tendencies that fucking Nick Fuentes has and how he's a Holocaust denier. Like, yeah. Yeah, he said all this. But here's the thing. Ben, in terms of the permission structure that was allowed to exist, you had a part to play in it, buddy. You had a part to play in the permission structure that currently exists that allowed for a Nick Fuentes to exist. It's the same thing that I've even said. And Jennifer Welch of the I've Had It podcast is also saying, like, she talks specifically about the Democrats only opening the avenue for a lot of these, like, actual fucking anti-Semite fucking freaks. But it's also people like Ben Shapiro. Like, this was always going to happen, and material conditions not being addressed and being made worse made it such that, like, the avenue was to be opened for just open far-right fucking neo-Nazi beliefs. This was something that was inevitable. This was always going to fucking happen. So I don't know. It's one of those things to, like, where I'm like to Ben Shapiro, like, buddy, don't be surprised about any of this stuff. You open the door for this shit. Like, you open the door for this stuff. Not that I'm saying it's a good thing. It's obviously not a fucking good thing, but you can't shirk responsibility. You had a part to play in all of this. Like, it's just like, okay, bro. Like, nice meme. Oh, now you want to take responsibility for all the stupid far-right shit that you consistently say on your fucking platform? That you gave a fucking permission structure for this to be the inevitable fucking conclusion? Like, oh, now you want to apologize and be remorseful for something. Like, okay, bro. Nice fucking meme. Yes, exactly, Alex. Yeah, they were not all incinerated. Also, a bunch of them were buried in mass graves. Yes, you are correct. The Nazis did bury alive a lot of the fucking Jews in the Holocaust.
Photographs taken over the kitchens. Moreover, if you look at the soil texture, it's really not deep enough for mass cookie storage underground.
Nick Fuentes believes that
Oh, well, there you go.
the Jews start all the wars, that perfidious Jews in positions of power ought to be killed, and says the Jews are filth who have to be removed from the country.
And once again, remember who is responsible for it all.
Oh, by the way, all of this was not that long ago.
The Jews. They are responsible for every war in the world. It's not even debatable at this point. This has nothing to do with oil. This has nothing to do with democracy. This has nothing to do with liberal internationalism. We are at war with Iran because they pose a threat to Israel's hegemony. That's why we're bombing their nukes, to pave the way for regime change so Israel can dominate the region, because that makes them the most powerful they can be.
There is an occult element at the high levels of society, and specifically among the Jews. So many of the people that are perpetrating the lies and destruction on the country, they are evildoers. They are people that worship false gods. They are people that practice magic or rituals or whatever. And more than anything, those people need to be, when we take power, they need to be given the death penalty. Straight up. And I'm far more concerned about that than I am about even non-white people or mass migration. These people that are communing with demons and engaging in this sort of witchcraft and stuff, and these people that are suppressing the name Christ,
Demons?
suppressing Christianity, they must be absolutely annihilated when we take power. This is God's country. This is Jesus' country. This is not the domain of atheists or devil worshippers or perfidious Jews. This is Christ's country.
Josh Hammer and Mark Levin, fuck these people. Like, deeply, seriously, all real Americans, if you are a real American, if you were born in this country, I don't even care who you are, what you are, if you are a real American that loves this country, you have generations in this country, your family or you fought for this flag, fought for the Constitution, fought for our church, fought for our civilization. For all of you, I say about Josh Hammer and Mark Levin and Laura Loomer, fuck them. Fuck them. Deeply, seriously, get them the fuck out of our country.
Nick Fuentes, it should be mentioned, despises Donald Trump and the MAGA movement as well.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You suck. You are fat. You are a joke. You are stupid. You are not funny. You are not as smart as you think you are. And honestly, and if you watch my show, you know I've been very critical. I've never been this far. This just goes to show this entire thing has been a scam. When we look back on the history of populism in America, we are going to look back on the MAGA movement as the biggest scam in American history. And the liberals were right. The MAGA supporters were had. They were.
So, that right there is just a brief glimpse into the twisted mind of Nick Fuentes. And there's plenty more where that came from, of course. Hours of it per day, in fact. And there's no doubt that Nick Fuentes has a lot of play these days. That's because the left, by moving into a politics of anti-white, anti-Christian, anti-male identitarianism,
Oh my god, he's gonna blame the left for this. Never change, Ben Shapiro. This is not the fault of the left, buddy. This is the fault of, your fucking political party, buddy. Like, this was inevitable, bro. Like, this was always gonna fucking happen. God, I'm, like, the amount of unsurprised I am in the fact that he is fucking blaming the left for this is just like, oh, Ben Shapiro is blaming the left for the fact that they've always been incredibly fucking anti-Semitic, and they are now looking to actively shun him from his position as the I don't know, the token fucking Jew in that they have to refer to. Oh my goodness, I am shocked. Oh, I never would have thought that such a thing could be fucking Boy Meets Mini. Alex, did you ever think that this could have fucking happened? I am utterly dismayed. I am shocked. Oh, incredible. Of course this was inevitably gonna fucking happen, dude. Like, they don't like you. This is always gonna fucking happen. Ben? You're shocked about this, my man? You're shocked about this. Okay, dude.
created its bizarro mirror image, a white pseudo-Christian incel identitarian movement dedicated to destroying the institutions of this country and replacing Americanism with something else. Nick Fuentes' philosophy is not fully formed. It's an incoherent stew of malignity. But that's where Tucker Carlson enters the story. Now, since his exit from Fox News in 2023, of course, he was a very, very popular host, Tucker Carlson has turned himself into a conspiracist and a crank and a pathological liar. Tucker excuses Vladimir Putin's murderous and barbarous reign. He has even become one of his most ardent defenders.
It is so much nicer than any city in my country. I had no idea. My father spent a lot of time there in the 80s when he worked for the US government and barely had electricity. And now it is so much cleaner and safer and prettier aesthetically. Its architecture, its food, its service than any country, city in the United States that you have to, and this is not ideological. How did that happen? How did that happen? And at a certain point, I don't think the average person cares as much about abstractions as about the concrete reality of his life. And if you can't use your subway, for example, as many people are afraid to in New York City because it's too dangerous, you have to sort of wonder, like, isn't that the ultimate measure of leadership? And that's true, by the way, it's radicalizing for an American to go to Moscow, I didn't know that, I've learned it this week, to Singapore, to Tokyo, to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Because these cities, no matter how we're told they're run and on what principles they're run, are wonderful places to live.
So I guess you put in 10 rubles here, and you get it back.
By the way, very, very funny of Tucker Carlson to be saying this because, again, he's like a stupid, rich, fucking elitist dipshit with a TV dinner fortune to his fucking name. Like, a quick reminder, his name is Tucker Carlson Swanson, or Swanson Carlson. I don't know, whichever order that you put it in there. He is the owner of a fucking... or not the owner, he is the heir of a fucking TV dinner fortune and has been born with the silver spoon in his mouth for as long as he could fucking breathe. So, yeah, he's never been to an Aldi, he's never been to like a Kroger or I don't know what other fucking grocery stores you have in the United States. I'm a Canadian, okay? We have Sobeys and fucking Zehrs, okay? That's what we have. Not Kroger or whatever. It's just rich that this shit is coming from spoon in mouth fucking dipshit over here, Tucker fucking Carlson. Like, very, very funny. And the only reason why specifically individuals like Tucker Carlson are having a problem with a lot of the fucking bullshit that not only Fuentes spouses, but also fucking Tucker Carlson espouses is because to a certain extent, he does still have some beliefs within neoconservatism. He is still a neo-fucking conservative at the end of the fucking day. He's a liar about a lot of this stuff. He still believes in, like, broader American hegemony. He believes in supplying weapons to the Ukrainians and stuff like that. All the money should be given to Israel in, of course, Ben Shapiro's mind. But it's one of those situations where it's like, dog, a lot of this is just going to fall on deaf ears because of the fact that it's just like, dude, you've had a part to play in advocating for some of the worst and most abhorrent things to have ever fucking happened within the like United States of America, bro. It's one of those things where it's like a lot of the things that he will say rings rather hollow because of the fact that he has had his part to play. And a lot of the neo-Nazis right now in the fucking movement are trying to and this is probably the key point, they are all trying to insulate themselves at the moment because they feel like they do not need people like Ben Shapiro anymore. They feel like they do not need people like all these like fucking neocon fucking dipshits. And these motherfuckers are all terrified. Like, you know, like your Brad Plumbos of the world or whatever. And all these other, like, complete fucking morons and fucking charlatans. They are looking to self-insulate themselves. And that has these guys fucking terrified. Because they know. These guys are all incredibly, like, self-preservationist fucking goddamn pricks. Yeah, they feel like that they're in power and that they don't need people like Dinesh D'Souza anymore. That they do not need people like fucking Vivek Ramaswamy anymore. That they don't need all of these like stupid fucking weirdo accounts who consistently fucking push for I don't know, like Western domination or some shit or whatever. They feel like they don't need them anymore because they feel like that they have won. It's not the case. Donald Trump is incredibly fucking unpopular right now and is completely underwater. And the thing with these positions is that they too are also incredibly unpopular, which is why a lot of these people can never fully fucking commit to building the fucking white ethno state. Because in reality, nobody fucking likes this shit. Nobody fucking likes Nick Fuentes, the Groypers, and all the fucking fascists. And that, honestly, that's like the full truth of the... That's like, listen, you want the fucking truth nuke? That's the fucking truth nuke right there.
When you put the cart back. So it's free, but there's an incentive to return it and not just bring it to your homeless encampment. I went from amused to legitimately angry. So we were guessing what this would cost. Everybody here from the United States buys groceries, and we didn't pay any attention to the cost as we were just putting in the cart what we would actually eat over a week. And we all came in around $400, about $400. It was $104 US here. And that's when you start to realize that ideology maybe doesn't matter as much as you thought, corruption. If you take people's standard of living and you tank it through filth and crime and inflation, and they literally can't buy the groceries they want, at that point, maybe it matters less what you say, whether you're a good person or a bad.
Guys, let's not take a look at the fact that the Russian economy is currently shitting the bed right now because of all the bombing of the Russian oil refineries. Yeah, he is in one of the richer parts of Russia. He's in fucking Moscow. Yeah, most of Russia is a third world fucking decrepit shithole because the current government that is in power could give less of a flying fuck about the people there.
Bad person, you're wrecking people's lives in their country, and that's what our leaders have done to us.
When Tucker Carlson interviewed Vladimir Putin, by the way, Vladimir Putin was so amused by Tucker Carlson's easy questioning that he actually mocked him. Tucker Carlson has massaged the Iranian dictatorship and admitted to not asking any difficult questions of the president of that dictatorship.
The interview is limited by a couple of factors. One, it was done by remote through a translator. That's always awkward. For another, I don't speak Persian. And there are all kinds of questions that I didn't ask the president of Iran, particularly questions to which I knew I could not get an honest answer, such as, was your nuclear program totally disabled by the bombing campaign by the U.S. government a week and a half ago? There's no chance he's going to answer that question, honestly. I didn't bother to ask it. The answer, in fact, from an American perspective, even from the CIA's perspective...
Wait, Russians go to India for work? Really? Dude. That's so bad, man. And here's like another thing that I've noticed. Okay, this is gonna be, I don't know, not like potential fucking gooner shit, but a lot of people can fucking agree with me on this one. The porn industry, for example. What's been going on more and more with the fucking porn industry? There's been a massive influx of fucking Russian amateur fucking porn stars, and just like Russians doing porn in general, for example. Why is that? It should be fairly fucking obvious. It's because they are desperate and their economy is in the fucking absolute fucking shitter. That is why. People don't just do porn because they just want to do it. I mean, sometimes that's the fucking case. Sometimes. But generally speaking, a lot of people have to do pornography and shit like this because they're desperate. Very fucking desperate. And, well... considering just how ridiculously poor the Russian economy is, should you be really surprised by, under any circumstance, that these guys are more and more trying to do porn on like fucking Pornhub in order to try to make some fucking kind of money or some shit because they are really, really poor? No, you shouldn't be surprised by that at all whatsoever. Like, it makes perfect fucking sense to me.
Is unknowable.
Tucker bizarrely worships at the altar of Qatar.
They're mad at you because you don't put your parents in some institution. Maybe they're trying to break up your families.
Well, it can be a reason. Honestly, I don't know what is really the purpose behind this, but we see that a lot of things that are happening are attacks on humanity in general. It's when you lose the family value, when you lose the connection between the family themselves, you will lose the connection between the people as well, on a broader level, on the people in the same neighborhood, on the people in the same region, in the same countries, and that's basically will just make us, as individuals who are quote unquote independent from anyone. That's what we will feel. Yet it will just make our societies vulnerable and easy to be penetrated. That's right.
Tucker Carlson praises Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro, even as Maduro keeps the entire country in communist penury and ships fentanyl into the United States to kill Americans by the hundreds of thousands.
Why are we so opposed to Nicolas Maduro? So if you ask someone on the street, random person, why are we against Nicolas Maduro? The answer you're going to get is who's Nicolas Maduro. But if you find someone in South Florida, for example, who knows...
Yeah, by the way, this is like the angle and why, for example, Ben Shapiro is fucking losing. Like, neoconservatism is dead, dude. You doing the neocon fucking talking point bullshit is so funny to me, dude. Because no one buys that shit, dude. Nobody fucking buys it, man. That's the fucking truth. Nobody's fucking buying it. Nobody fucking agrees with this shit. It doesn't pass the fucking smell check, man. And it's one of those situations where it's just like, I mean, you guys are gonna like surprise Pikachu face when it's like nobody is like agreeing to any of this fucking bullshit. Like, no, of course they're like, no one's buying this. No one fucking thinks that like Nicolas Maduro is like a narco fucking trafficker just because like Donald Trump randomly put a $50 billion bounty on his fucking head. Just because he's still salty about the fact that his coup attempt was just a fucking complete utter failure. Like, no one agrees with it, dude. So it's one of those situations where it's like, Ben, like, the neocon shit, it's not it. It's not gonna work, bro. Not gonna work.
Who Nicolas Maduro is, who can identify where Venezuela is on a map, that person will almost certainly say, well, because he's a communist or socialist, he's exceedingly left-wing, and that is true. Nicolas Maduro and his government are very left-wing on economics, not on social policy, by the way, which is kind of interesting. In Venezuela, gay marriage is banned, abortion is banned, sex changes for transgenderism are banned. It's one of the very few countries in the entire hemisphere with those policies. It is on social policy, not defending the regime, just saying. One of the most conservative countries in North or South or Central America. Only El Salvador really comes close.
Tucker Carlson glosses Hamas, the genocidal jihadi group behind October 7th, as a political organization.
You can't claim that they're Hamas while simultaneously claiming that Hamas is, a group of jihadis. They're Islamic extremists, which they also claim constantly. I don't know if that's true, by the way. It seems more like a political organization, but whatever it is, they're telling us constantly they're Al-Qaeda.
Tucker Carlson has attacked President Trump as a cover-up artist for sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein on behalf of Israel and Mossad, making sure, of course, never to mention President Trump's name, because, of course, Tucker's a coward.
And moreover, it's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing hateful about saying that.
Tucker Carlson has stated that President Trump has undermined America First and MAGA by attacking Iran, giving into neocon ghouls like Mark Levin, while also idiotically arguing that President Trump striking Iran's nuclear facilities would lead to World War III. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Tucker Carlson also said in his interview with Nick Fuentes that the people he hates most in the entire world, more than ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Trans-Tifa, Marxists, rapists, murderers, are Christian Zionists, who represent an enormous chunk of the conservative base. According to Tucker Carlson, who admits that he first read the Bible all the way through just 2 years ago, Christians who support a Jewish state of Israel are heretics and blasphemers with a brain virus.
How do you explain Mike Huckabee, Ted Cruz, and there are a lot like that, John Bolton. I mean, I've known them all, George W. Bush, like Karl Rove. I mean, all people I know personally who I've seen like be seized by this brain virus, and they're not Jewish. Most of them are self-described Christians, and then the Christian Zionists who are, well, Christian Zionists. Like, what is that? Right. And I could just say for myself, I dislike them more than anybody. Because like, what? Because it's Christian heresy, and I'm offended by that as a Christian.
Tucker Carlson has said that he despises American Jews who care about October 7th. We, in his words, don't care about America and also want to get his kids killed in a foreign war.
I've got 4 draft age children. So if you're playing recklessly fast and loose with their lives, then I have a right to despise you, and I do. So if you're Nikki Haley who's running for president, or Ben Shapiro, or half the people I see on television casually mentioning the possibility of nuclear war, or sending Americans to fight in the Middle East, or in any way involving us in a war that has nothing to do with prosperity and peace at home, nothing in other words to do with us, Americans, then I have a right to call you out and be really offended because it's my family. They live here. It's not a joke to me. There's nothing abstract about it.
But most of all,
the problem with this position is it's actually anti-Semitic. Like, my criticism of Israel as a Christian is based on Jesus' teaching, not Nazi issue. Well, yeah, exactly. Because, again, like, Zionists like Benjamin Netanyahu and Ben Shapiro in reality are unironically okay with anti-Semites and anti-Semitism. Why do you think that all these motherfuckers pussyfooted around for with people like Fuentes for so long? Like, and have had decided to be like, actually we're like big fans of our heckin' conservative Areno dudes. Actually, we really like these guys consistently. Because in reality, all these motherfuckers who pretend to not be fucking like conservative or whatever, or pretending to not be far right and fascistic. I mean, they are far right and fascistic in a certain way. But who are pretending to be like a part of the broader sort of conservative movement that exists within the United States. Like, it's just one of those things where it's just like, dog, like, the anti-Semitism has always been there, and it has always been a first-order principle for these people. They have always been like this. This has not changed since the fucking 30s, bro. Like, this is consistent. This has always fucking happened. Like, so don't, it's unironically, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, don't be fucking surprised by this. You've had a part to play in all of this. You helped create this environment, Tucker. Like, you did this, my man. So it's just like, I don't know, it's like, fucking spare me it, bro. Like, I just find it incredibly fucking tedious and boring.
Tucker Carlson acts as an ideological launderer for other people's evils. Tucker Carlson says many inflammatory things, always buying back just enough of it to appear as though he's not saying what he's clearly saying. He's a master of gaslighting. Tucker Carlson, for example, would never say out loud what Nick Fuentes does. He wouldn't say the things many of his guests say. And so instead, he acts as an ideological launderer. He takes other people's hideous ideas, he softens them, he treats them with love and care, and then he provides them with a massive signal boost. He isn't merely talking to people in good faith, of course. He's promoting certain people and ideas and attacking others. So, for example, he'll ask a series of wildly obsequious questions to Nick Fuentes. He'll even let Nick Fuentes' support for Joseph Stalin slide.
It's actually funny. It's December 18th. I remember because that's an important date to me. And it's Joseph Stalin's birthday. Oh, I'm a fan.
You're a fan of Stalin's.
Mm-hmm. Always an admirer. But we don't need to go into that.
Okay, let's get back to this. We'll circle back to that.
But he will grill Ted Cruz about the population of Iran. Tucker Carlson will have on Vladimir Putin's evil anti-American mouthpiece Alexander Dugin and then praise him.
Alexander Dugin is a 62-year-old Russian academic philosopher. He spent...
Yeah, we don't need, like, listen, like, we can fucking talk till the cows come home about fucking Fuentes being a fan of fucking Stalin. Like, it should be fairly obvious that he was always a fucking fan of Stalin. Like, of course, someone like Fuentes is a fan of fucking Stalin because Stalin's a fucking fascist. He always has been a fucking fascist. Like, this is not surprising whatsoever yet. Marxist-Leninists. I wonder why Nick Fuentes likes Stalin so fucking much, and this has always been a fucking consistent thing with him. Oh, it's because he's a fucking never been a communist, like, ever.
His life in Moscow, he was an anti-Soviet dissident as a young man, and now he is famous the world over, in the English language press anyway, as, quote, Putin's brain. But he is not a political figure here in Russia. He is, once again, a philosopher. And his ideas are deeply offensive to some people. In August of 2022, his only daughter was murdered in Moscow when a car bomb killed her. U.S. intelligence says she was murdered by the Ukrainian government, and we take that at face value. But what's interesting is that, once again, Alexander Dugin is not a military leader. He's not a close daily advisor to Vladimir Putin. He is a writer who writes about big ideas. And for this, his books have been banned by the Biden administration in the United States. You cannot buy them on Amazon. Banning books in the United States.
Yeah, but he's just got like some pretty neat, interesting ideas, this Alexander Dugin guy. Like, I mean, I shouldn't be really surprised at all that Tucker Carlson would be a fucking fan of Duginist ideas and thoughts. Like, that doesn't really surprise me whatsoever.
States because the ideas inside are too dangerous. He's often described again in the English language press as far right. We'll let you assess. But we wanted to talk to him about some of his ideas, these ideas that are so dangerous that his only daughter was murdered over them, and his book's been banned in the United States.
He was probably the
Tucker Carlson
target.
will have on a Hitler-friendly pseudo-historian to minimize the Holocaust and blame Winston Churchill for World War II, and you will call him America's best and most honest historian.
I thought Churchill was the chief villain of the Second World War. Now, he didn't kill the most people. He didn't commit the most atrocities. But I think we can really get into it and tell the story right and don't leave anything out. You see that he was primarily responsible for that war becoming what it did, becoming something other than an invasion of Poland. Germany, look, they put themselves into a position, and Adolf Hitler's chiefly responsible for this, but his whole regime is responsible for it, that when they went into the East in 1941,
this guy's a Nazi,
they launched a war where they were completely unprepared to deal with the millions and millions of prisoners of war, of local political prisoners and so forth that they were going to have to handle.
This is, by the way, Holocaust fucking denial. This is a very common talking point by fucking neo-Nazis, where they will pretend to be like, oh, well, Hitler just couldn't handle all of the fucking Heckenarino prisoners of war, guys. Like, that was like a big fucking problem. There was all these like prisoners of war, guys.
With no plan for that. And
yeah, they did invade Poland.
And millions of people ended up dead.
And that is the pseudo-historian that Tucker Carlson has said is the best and most honest historian in America. Tucker Carlson will have on over and over a pro-Chinese propagandist who used global warming to promote global socialism, all in order to criticize his own hug China.
Israel has run American foreign policy in the Middle East for 30 years. That's how it works. This is actually the truth. If we drop our angst on big bad Russia, actually, we didn't have a chance to talk about it this time, maybe another time, big bad China, which is also not going to invade the United States, not going to threaten us, not going to go to war with us. They're trying to deal with aging, and they've got their declining population and many other things. Not that they're falling apart. It's a very impressive civilization, but they're not a threat to the United States, honestly, and Iran is not a threat.
Tucker Carlson, of course, brings on pro-Hamas voices episode after episode after episode. The instances are almost limitless. Tucker Carlson will host Andrew Tate, a pornographer and scam artist who mocks rape victims and preaches a cult of narcissism and cruelty. And of course, Tucker Carlson will glorify him and present him as a maligned truth teller rather than an emblem of moral rot. See, this is how Tucker Carlson's ideological laundering works. You bring your dirty, ugly ideologies to Tucker Carlson's rhetorical car wash. He mixes it with some of the vestigial respect Americans have for him from his Fox News days, and voila, hideous ideas suddenly become mainstream. And then, of course, Tucker denies he said anything controversial at all.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's all born out of somewhere, Ben. And you open that door. You open that door, Ben. You open that door. You have responsibility for this as well. Like, this is why, because again, in Ben Shapiro's mind, he's just mad about the fact that he's not popular anymore. That's all that it is. And that's what he's primarily upset about. He's no longer the main authoritative, like, conservative voice within the room anymore. People fucking hate him. People despise neo-fucking conservatism. It is a dead fucking ideology. Like, it's dead. Neoconservatism is never gonna make a fucking goddamn comeback. That shit ain't fucking coming back. Same with, like, neoliberalism as well. That as much as, like, the Democrats are going to enjoy, like, I don't know, kicking and screaming, that shit's also not fucking coming back. Because people have seen the wider sort of, like, byproducts and products of the fucking ideology fully play out at this point, and nobody fucking likes it. No one fucking likes any of that shit. So it's just like, I don't know, bro. Like, spare me it. Like, this ain't your fight anymore. It's over. It's wallahi, it is cooked, bros. It's so fucking wallahi cooked, bros.
Oh, he was just asking questions. He was just interviewing people. You don't want him to cancel people, do you? Of course, there is no First Amendment right to a Tucker Carlson sensual massage. But to listen to Tucker, you'd think there was, so long as you despise America, oppose President Trump's foreign policy, and bear a peculiar dislike of Jews. Tucker Carlson, you see, is a coward. And here is where his relationship with Nick Fuentes begins. With Nick Fuentes correctly pointing out that Tucker Carlson is a coward. You see, Tucker Carlson, a few weeks back, had on Candace Owens to treat her to his usual ideological laundering services. That's after years of Candace Owens saying things like this.
And it is the case that dinosaur bones, for whatever reason, are always just found by the paleontologist. Like, it's not like you and me walking outside like, hey, dinosaur bone, and or by somebody who's related to a paleontologist. It's very strange.
Yeah, obviously, we all know that Candace Owens has also been getting a significant boost in terms of prominence and popularity as well, because of her fucking feud with Daily Wire and the fact that again, Daily Wire is now like essentially a dying fucking goddamn brand, and nobody fucking likes any of the bullshit that Daily Wire sort of espouses and pushes anymore. Like, again, it's just purely just the fact that no one fucking jives with neoconservatism anymore, bros. Like, that's all that it is.
And then, but it was just convenient for Israel that JFK got shot. It was just convenient, you guys. Totally convenient. It was convenient for Israel by the way the towers went down. I just want to be clear. Anything happens to me, blame the Zionists. Like 1,000% blame the Zionists. Like let that be my parting word. I'm waking people up to the fact that pedophiles are in power. They're literally in power, and that is intentional because then they can be controlled while they are in power. And they are also exhibiting signs of a psychopathology that lets them know that they will do harm to the masses and feel nothing because they were themselves, many of them, raped when they were children. It's not a coincidence that Justin Trudeau is gay, Obama gay, Zelensky gay, Emmanuel Macron gay and married to a trans man who molested him when he was a child.
Well, Candace Owens had recently hosted Nick Fuentes, and this led Tucker Carlson, in an attempt to dissociate from Fuentes, to label him a weird little gay kid operating from a basement, and a fed as well.
That's obvious. I've been around a long time. I know when I see it.
Yeah, and I will say I don't understand it. We were very kind to him. Like truly, like we almost said like we felt maybe he was a bit lonely. We should invite him back for dinner. I mean, that's how good of an experience I had.
Clearly
and then it was 180. So it's either A, it's being driven from like a little boy insecurity, and he just was so worried that he like just went on the attack because he doesn't know how to have normal relations after being banned everywhere.
Well, I think there's
definitely one element.
The angry gay kid thing going on. Yeah.
Well, Nick Fuentes did not take kindly to this. After all, here was Tucker Carlson, a man Nick Fuentes correctly sees as a fellow traveler, dismissing him, all the while refusing to say the sorts of things which Fuentes takes to slings and arrows. And so Fuentes unleashed on him as a fraud, and also as an expert on gaslighting.
Tucker is like the goat of gaslighting. But unironically, he goes up at the memorial and said Charlie Kirk told the truth.
Okay, let's be honest here, though. Let's be honest here for real quick. Nick Fuentes is definitely gay. He's definitely fucking gay.
You know who else told the truth? Jesus. And you know what happened? He got killed by Jews. And people said, so are you saying that the Jews killed Charlie Kirk in the way that they killed Jesus for telling the truth because they hate the truth? And Tucker said, I never said that. You're crazy. I never said that. Everyone eats hummus. What do you mean? Everyone runs Jerusalem. But I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Tucker Carlson says, I have so many trust funds, I never have to work. Tucker went to a $45,000 per year private high school, and a $45,000 per year selective Ivy League school in New England. Tucker Carlson's daddy was a Reagan appointee. And then, after years of bragging about being an elite, bragging about being so out of touch and so rich, now he's going to be the spokesperson for all the white people. Now he's going to roll up his sleeves. I just like to hunt and fish in my log cabin. I care about Klarna and credit card debt. But then when it comes to me, I'm one of the real disaffected white people. You want to talk about me and them? I am them.
Well, there was one big problem for Tucker Carlson in all of this. Nick Fuentes is absolutely 100% correct. Tucker is a coward, and Tucker's audience, much of which he shares with Nick Fuentes, knows it. And so Tucker hit upon a final stratagem. He let Nick Fuentes cuck him. He brought Nick Fuentes on to legitimate his ideology. He signal boosted Fuentes, glossed him, shined him, presented him to the world, all in order to protect his own reputation with his online base. A base he is competing over with Nick Fuentes. Now, of course, Tucker has a right to do all of this for the 100th time. He knows what he likes. This is America. But there's no question that Tucker has become...
I mean, here... this is the thing that, like, it makes Ben Shapiro eternally, like, sound like a coward. It's like, he has he has a right to do this. Obviously, he can do this if he wants. Yada 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 yada. It's like, brother, like, it's not gonna be fucking effective, because again, there's a reason why cancel culture, I think, should make a comeback to like a certain extent, because we're essentially like, for lack of a better term, being okay with fucking shamelessness. That's the fucking main problem that I mostly have. We are okay with fucking shamelessness. And Ben Shapiro, and this is the same point that I'm just going to have been reiterating during this whole like segment. You're the one who gave the permission structure for all of this. You have responsibility for this. This wasn't. You're just mad about the fact that, oh, there's people out there that are just more far right and more fucking extreme than you now. And it's just, I think purely this is just being brought out of jealousy at this point.
The most virulent super spreader of vile ideas in America. And the rest of us who oppose those vile ideas have every right to call him that. There's one other element here that's even darker if possible. Tucker Carlson preys on the friendship he proclaims with others, and then he knights them directly between the shoulder blades when convenient for him. Tucker Carlson is, in short, a terrible friend. Tucker Carlson was supposedly Charlie Kirk's friend. Charlie believed that Nick Fuentes was vermin. That's a direct quote. He believed that because Nick Fuentes dedicated his life to destroying Charlie Kirk and TPUSA from the inside. In fact, here's Nick Fuentes describing Charlie Kirk the month before Charlie was murdered.
Charlie Kirk cannot call himself a Christian anymore. Sorry, you forfeited that. I do not want to hear, and you cannot allow Charlie Kirk to go to one more public event, one more question and answer, one more ask me anything.
Yeah, we all know about the fucking beef between Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes. Part of the reasoning for as to why Charlie Kirk even started moving further to the right is because of him. But here's the thing, dude, like, you motherfuckers allowed for the fucking permission structure for this to happen, dude. This is what I mean, where it's just like, it's one of those situations where it's like difficult to treat any of these criticisms actually seriously, because what fucking Ben Shapiro is mentioning here, he's not wrong. He's correct. But a lot of these things, again, it rings hollow to me, because it's like, dog, you you made these fucking conditions what they are. You made them into these fucking conditions. You brought this upon all of us. So it's just like, spare me it, bro. And because it's not just like he's specifically going to focus on Candace Owens, Fuentes, and also Tucker Carlson. And the only reason why he's focusing on them specifically is because they've slighted him in the past. And they are also basically lapping him in terms of prominence and popularity now. And that's why he's having a problem with them specifically. The thing is that like, a lot of this is just going to consistently ring rather hollow, in my personal opinion. Because it's like, dog, you're the one who made all of this the fucking case, dude. Like, you did this. This is your fucking... I don't know, sword to bear or whatever. This is what you've brought upon the fucking world with pushing for all of your dumb fucking like conservative ideological fucking bullshit. Like this was an inevitability that everything is just gonna get more far right and way fucking worse. Like cross to bear. Thank you, Alex. I forgot about I was forgetting the fucking saying. Yeah, this is your cross to bear. You did this. You brought this upon everyone. Like, guess what? You need to show... Listen, you gotta pull yourself up by your bootstraps and have some fucking responsibility. Whatever happened to pulling yourself up by your bootstraps there, Ben? What happened to that?
Without being protested, without being shouted down, without being interrogated about this, this guy goes around from campus to campus in the most artificial and phony and fake way.
And here is Nick Fuentes describing how he destroyed TV USA from the inside.
Whether he chooses to confront me or not, whether he has dignity and honor or not, it's just a matter of time. My ideas are already there. I've already impregnated your organization. I took Turning Point USA and I fucked it. I took your organization, I took your baby, Turning Point USA, and I fucked it. And I've been fucking it. And that's why it's filled with groypers. That's why your whole crew, that's why the people around you, that's why your chapter presidents, that's why your attendees, they're all groypers.
And here's Nick Fuentes calling Charlie Kirk unpatriotic and talking about how he's a retarded idiot and saying all firepower should be focused on Charlie Kirk.
I think a lot of people are starting to find out Charlie Kirk is not the patriot that he says he is. And so I looked at what happened last night, and I think to myself, this is totally a doable operation. You know, Charlie Kirk in the grand scheme of things is just some retarded idiot. The dog is terrified. I had to go upstairs and reassure him because I'm screaming at my screen, calling Charlie Kirk a bitch and everything. The contrast could not be more clear. Charlie Kirk is a totally unexceptional human being, a moral struggle that's happening on the higher dimension, right? Which is Christ versus the devil. Who does Charlie Kirk serve? You know, is he really a Christian? Is he really Christ-like when he supports foreign wars and Israel and all this? Look at the people he's taking money from. You know, so the guy's a fake Christian. The guy's not a patriot. He hates our country. He's un-American. Let's focus all our firepower on Charlie Kirk. Why are we doing this? It's because Charlie Kirk is a fake patriot, a fake Christian, and he hates his people. He's anti-white. This is our angle.
Nick Fuentes despised Charlie Kirk. And for good reason, because Charlie Kirk actually opposed Nick's evil program. Here's what Charlie Kirk had to say about Nick Fuentes' agenda.
But if you go back to the original...
But he doesn't. Here's the thing. He used to. Ben Shapiro's not wrong there. But he doesn't anymore. He folded. He folded to the fucking groypers and became a fucking Christian fundamentalist. So it's I don't know. Like, I've been reiterating the same point consistently now at this point. This all rings hollow to me. Like, this is all irrelevant to me. Like, he can keep playing through the compilation of fucking clips when it's just like, dog, you opened the lane for all this when you started fucking debating college kids on fucking campuses. You like, this is your cross to bear. This is your cross to bear. You created this fucking permission structure. You had a part to play in all of this. This schism was inevitable because this was always the ideological conclusion with all these motherfuckers. Like, that's what it is. This is his fight song. Yeah, I'm banning you for that one, Boy Meets Minnie, you fucking bastard.
Founding fathers, they intended this to be a European nation for white men of good stock and character.
So, can you show me, let me answer the question. Can you show me where in the United States Constitution it says that?
It wasn't in the Constitution.
It wasn't in the Constitution because they didn't believe it. What does the phrase e pluribus unum mean? What does the phrase e pluribus unum mean?
Why is that relevant?
Because it was on every founding document and presidential seal from our founding, which means out of many, one. You, sir, and your ideology is not conservative. It is right-wing, identitarian, it has no place in the conservative movement, my friend. Get out of line. Get out of line. I don't platform trolls, and I don't platform, and I don't discuss people, or I don't debate with people that are not good faith actors. And they can keep on yelling at how successful we are in our big events and well over 1,000 employees, but a lot of jealousy out there. We build, they complain. We succeed, we win. They blame the Jews.
After Charlie's death, TPUSA made Tucker Carlson one of its chief faces. Tucker, of course, spoke at Charlie's memorial, where he implied that hummus-eating nefarious Jews killed Charlie, with no mention of the ideology of the actual alleged murderer, who was, of course, a trans activist gay furry. Tucker Carlson, in fact, has spent more time talking about Jews and
trans activist gay furry. That's so fucking funny that he's spreading fucking active lies and conspiracism about fucking Tyler Robinson. Still to this day. But Wasn't a trans activist. Wasn't a fucking furry. That's just complete fucking bullshit, bro.
In Israel since Charlie's death than about the trans-Tifa ideology that motivated Charlie Kirk's killer. By a long shot, it's not close, which is not a surprise, since he seems to spend very little time these days attacking anyone on the left. Well, now Tucker Carlson has seen fit to launder Nick Fuentes, the person who hated Charlie most and who wished him destruction. That's not an act of friendship, it's an act of sick evil. And then, of course, there's Tucker Carlson's relationship with the vice president. Certainly, Vice President Vance has been quite generous with Tucker Carlson. That loyalty was not reciprocated last week, to say the least. Here, for example, is what Nick Fuentes has said about J.D. Vance's wife, Lucia.
Andrew Tate and Bronze Age pervert and all these people, for years, all they talk about is going to the gym, being a vitalist, fighting the Matrix, India smells bad, all this kind of shit. And now they're all in favor of a fat race mixer who's married to a Jeet who named his son Vivek, who was mentored by a Jewish neocon and a gay fed, Peter Thiel.
This guy has a non-white wife and a kid named Vivek. This guy is going to be a...
Jesus Christ. I mentioned that fucking rant earlier on, but it's just like, God, it like you listen to it again, it's like, man, it's just like collective fucking schizophrenia, bro. Yeah, you know, India's dirty to the fucking slur, blah blah blah. It's so fucking goofy. It's all just fucking ridiculous. Again, like Ben Shapiro, you're the same dude who said that you want the a final solution for the fucking Palestinians. Again, your fucking hands are about as dirty on this as well as Nick Fuentes's and Charlie Kirk's, which is why you can't treat any of these people seriously. Like, dog, you're the one. Same thing again. You built the fucking permission structure for all of this, which is why, like, it's just like it rings all hollow to me. It's just like, yeah, you're saying all this, yeah, that's fine and dandy and whatever, yeah. Nick Fuentes is racist, blah blah blah. Who's the one that allowed for Nick Fuentes to even gain prominence to begin with? Oh, it was the neocons, and them being so fucking terrible in terms of policy. Okay.
A defender of white identity? I don't think so. This guy's going to defend American identity?
He's never for having an Indian wife. He had first wife was working here legally for a time. His son's half foreign, bilingual, and holds dual citizenship. He gave him a mass. You're for card.
She's white. Dude, she's white. If we had millions of Slovenian supermodels immigrating to America, I don't think we'd have a big problem with it.
Tucker Carlson had on Nick Fuentes and did not ask him a single question about any of this. He just brought him on to launder his ugly ideas and make them more popular. That doesn't seem quite like the act of a friend. Which, finally, brings us to the Heritage Foundation. Now, I have a long and admiring relationship with the Heritage Foundation. One of the very first outlets to pick up my syndicated column when I was 17 years old.
Now, we took a look at the take that the Heritage Foundation had, and it's just, overall, for lack of a better term, if they wanted to mention perfidious Jewry, quote-unquote, they tried to do it. They tried to fucking do it. They tried to launder all the bullshit.
24 years ago was townhall.com and a property of the Heritage Foundation. I know most of the leadership very well, and I have for decades. I know Kevin Roberts, and I like him. I'm grateful for his contributions to the conservative movement. If you're a regular watcher of the show, you can check the interview I did with...
So again, like, this is the fucking thing. Like, they keep talking about, like, yeah, I like Kevin Roberts. I like all these guys. These guys are nice. They're my fucking heckin' friends. Honestly, I'm gonna say this. It's almost Dave Rubin-esque. I think this is Dave Rubin-esque. The just sort of, like, a pathetic desperation here from, like, Ben Shapiro. This is incredibly David Rubin-esque. Or he's just like, guys, I thought we were still all on the same team of being heckin' base trad fucking conservatives. And then, like, all the anti-Semites are just, like, looking. It's like the skeleton staring meme with the music playing in the fucking background, where it's just like, oh, Ben, we were never fucking friends to begin with. Because that's the actual fucking truth, by the way. These people were never your fucking friends, Ben. They were never, ever your fucking friends, buddy. They are wholeheartedly willing and okay of throwing you under the bus when it's politically efficacious for them. And guess what? TikTok, on the clock, you're getting thrown under the bus.
With Kevin on the release of his book just last December. Which is why what Kevin Roberts did last week is tragic and awful. He put out a statement that Heritage Foundation didn't just stand by Tucker Carlson. Kevin instead said openly and repeatedly that Tucker Carlson can do nothing, ever, that will sever his relationship with the conservative movement. He said that after and in defense of Tucker's glossing of Hitler defender Nick Fuentes. And he added that only members of the globalist class, direct quote, a venomous coalition, direct quote, subject to the dictates of someone else's agenda, direct quote, oppose Heritage's ongoing relationship with Tucker Carlson. Which means, that according to Kevin Roberts apparently, anyone opposing the ongoing mainstreaming of Tucker Carlson is acting...
I was thumbs-upping for the heavy gun turret that we have now. Yay, look at it. That's about it.
On behalf of a foreign power. Kevin's statement is a betrayal of the Heritage Foundation's history and principles, which is presumably why both Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes loved it. And that's a tragedy, because America needs a robust conservative organization based on principle and ideas, not personal loyalty to bad actors like Tucker Carlson. We need strong leaders in the conservative movement, willing to speak out against the moral rot that threatens our future. I hope Kevin Roberts and Heritage show us that they can still be those leaders. But if not, we'll have to look elsewhere. So, why is all this happening? Because, like the Democratic Party, the Republican Party is being eaten by its radicals. Many in the political class are too cowardly to stand up. Apparently, they're willing to play footsie with Groypers and hug Tucker Carlson out of fear.
Again, like, here's the fucking thing. This is why this analysis is always going to fail, because he also always has to blame the left. The left has, like, nothing to do with this. This is purely natural. Like, people are just sick of fucking neoliberalism. This isn't the Democrats embracing their... Like, we wish they would embrace their fucking radicals. They would be 10 times more successful politically. Like, honestly, like, genuinely. No, it's a genuine movement of the fucking people, and that's what it is, to be honest. Like, Ben Shapiro will never, ever acknowledge genuine fucking movements of the people, because he hates the people. And this is a, like, I'm not going to say it's 100% genuine movement from the fucking people. It's filled with lies and tomfoolery and charlatan behavior when it comes to individuals like Nick Fuentes and the Groypers and whatnot. It is just complete utter fucking bullshit and nonsense. But you can't say, like, you can't really disagree either with the fact that a lot of these people, a lot of these motherfuckers currently in power are extremely fucking sick and tired of the fucking bullshit. They are. They've had enough. Nobody wants this shit anymore. And they are going to the inevitable fucking ideological fucking extremes. This was something that was always fucking inevitable. Like, let's be honest here. This was always going to happen. And Ben Shapiro is just mad about the fact that he's getting, well, thrown away. His usefulness is over. He's like, it's literally like the Toy Story meme with Andy saying, like, I don't want to play with you anymore. Like, unironically, it is that.
Of somehow losing support. They've been bamboozled by the lies of the X algorithm and the TikTok metrics. The left followed its radicals to electoral hell. Apparently, many on the right wish to do the same. Forget the morality then for just a moment. Let's be pragmatic. Here is the thing. Americans hate Nick Fuentes' philosophy. They think it's trash. Republicans, by the polling, think it's trash. Independents think it's trash. Democrats think it's trash.
True.
And here's the other thing. Americans hate Tucker Carlson's laundered anti-Americanism. Republicans think it's trash. Independents think it's trash. Democrats think it's trash. Americans are not pro-segregation, pro-rape, anti-woman, pro-child marriage, anti-black, anti-Jew, anti-Indian, anti-Latino, anti-Constitution, pro-Hitler nutjobs like Nick Fuentes. And Americans are not pro-Putin, pro-Iran, pro-China, pro-Venezuela, pro-Hamas, pro-Fuentes, pro-Tate idiots like Tucker Carlson. They hate this vile garbage. If Republicans decide to cower before the likes of neo-Nazis and their propagandizers, they deserve to lose. And they will lose. Neo-Nazis and their propagandizers are not Republicans. They're not America First. They're not MAGA. They sure as hell aren't conservative. These people aren't to my right. They're not attached in any way to the fundamental principles of conservatism. And these people have already declared themselves to be my enemies. I'd be a fool not to take them seriously. If they get their way, they will hollow out the Republican Party, lead it to electoral catastrophe, and empty it and the country of any semblance of decency in the process. My answer is no. No to the Groypers. No to their publicists like Tucker Carlson. No to those who champion them. No to demoralization. No to bigotry and anti-meritocratic horseshit. No to anti-Americanism. No. This is our country. This is our party. And this is our conservative movement. And I will not stand by while it is handed over to those who betray the most fundamental principles I've spent my entire life defending and advocating. That is a path to defeat and a path to moral oblivion. I reject it, because if we lose the right, we will lose to the left. And either way, we'll lose the country. I'm Ben Shapiro. This is the Ben Shapiro Show.
It's a desperate plea from a dude whose brand is fucking dead. I like, there's no other way really to fucking put this. I'll be quite honest here. It's a desperate plea from a man whose project and political ideology is collapsed. And it's over. It is over. Neoconservatism is dead. It is dead, and nobody fucking wants that shit anymore. People want some form of anti-fucking capitalist beliefs. And this is why Ben Shapiro, generally speaking, is losing, I suppose, like, well, not only his, like, media company, but he's losing a lot of the people who were bringing in fucking money for him as well. Like, that's the main issue. It's honestly, it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't think there's really any other way to put this besides how I put it myself. I'll be quite honest. That's, I think, the best way to put the fact that Ben Shapiro is about to be left in the dust by the conservative movement that he helped to build. It's just a desperate plea for some, I don't know, attempted return to fucking normalcy. But it's a normalcy that's never going to be seen ever again. Like, you're not going to see a return to normalcy with the current fucking conservative movement. It's over. Neo-Nazism is the main thing that a lot of the future of the Republican Party wants. That's what they want. That's actively what they're fucking pushing for. Not fucking cringe-ass neoconservatism. Nobody wants that shit anymore. And Ben Shapiro just can't fucking acknowledge any of that. And as a result, is being left in the dust. Which, I mean, is both a good and a bad thing. I think, yeah, I'm going to say it's both a good and a bad thing because, again, the positions and the ideology that Ben Shapiro holds are really bad. But what these, like, neo-Nazi fucking freaks believe is honestly fucking worse. Way, way, way worse. So it's just like, It's one of those situations where it's just like, this was always going to be, this was always going to fucking happen. This is inevitably going to fucking happen. So, yeah, Ben Shapiro is just mad and desperate for the fact that he is being left behind by the movement that he fucking helped to construct. That's purely what it is. It is a desperate plea from a desperate fucking man who wants to have some form of prominence and seat at the table for the attempted white nationalist fucking takeover, so then he's not one of the people who gets ultimately thrown under the bus. But here's the reality of the situation. His dumbass was already thrown under the bus. It's already over for him. His usefulness is now outlived. Same with like your Dinesh D'Souza's of the world, your Vivek Ramaswamy's. And we've all seen what's going on right now with the far right, generally speaking. They are all trying to self-insulate and trying to basically solidify their position. When in reality, it makes no sense, which is fucking stupid, politically speaking, but I digress. And it's not going to end up working out for them because everything that they say and that they do is incredibly fucking unpopular, and nobody fucking likes any of the bullshit that they push. So it's not going to end up working out for them because a lot of like Trump's bullshit is actively unpopular, and you still need to maintain some form of like popularity with the people in order to have this shit work. And Trump is currently underwater in terms of every fucking demographic on every fucking issue. So yeah, I don't see this is going to be working out in particular all that well for all the white nationalists and fucking freaks. But I'm here for the fucking schism. Anything for these, like, morons to get, like, completely and utterly fucking distracted and fighting with one another is generally a good thing because that means they're going to be less able to pass their rather odious, ridiculous fucking agenda. So, honestly, I say keep fighting. Yeah, keep fighting, you dumb fucks. Like, I don't give a shit. Suffer the consequences of your fucking actions, because this is exactly what this is. Yeah, like, I'm just gonna sit back and just eat some fucking popcorn. Just sit back, eat some popcorn if you're on the left or even a liberal or anything like that. Just chill. Just chill. Because they were always gonna fucking eventually eat their own fucking faces and shit on their own fucking positions consistently. Like, this was an inevitability. So it's just like, all right, you know what? It's like you guys decided to vote for and advocate for the positions of the leopards eating your fucking face party, and now you guys are like shocked Pikachu facing that the leopards are now eating your fucking face. So yeah, I don't think there's really much else to say besides, yeah, it's just another desperate sort of plea from a man who is currently having his fucking face eaten right now. So I don't think there's much else to say besides this was the inevitable ideological conclusion for what you were pushing for. And Ben Shapiro, you had a part to play in having this environment be the main thing that currently exists within the broader sort of conservative movement, quote unquote. This was inevitably gonna fucking happen, little bro. Oh yeah, and before I forget to mention, this was Fuentes' response to all of this, I don't know, essential screed. Not screed, but these things that Ben Shapiro was fucking talking about. He just basically took the same shit that Ben Shapiro said in order to talk about, well, how much he does not like Nick Fuentes, and just flipped it on its head. No to Ben Shapiro, no to the neocons, no to dual citizens, no to Benjamin Netanyahu, no to cancel culture, no to genocide and ethnic cleansing, no to the Christ-hating Talmud, No to Greater Israel. No to our Jewish oligarchy. America first, America forever. And he got way more likes in comparison to Ben Shapiro's thing. Like, writing's on the wall, man. It's on the wall. Everything that Ben Shapiro purports to like and stand for and fight for, that's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. Like, he's not gonna win this war. People want the fucking neo-Nazism in comparison to just tepid neo-fucking liberalism. And I mostly just say, like, people, as in, not like a general sort of the people in general. I mean this sort of like within the Republican Party. The young within the Republican Party want what Nick Fuentes is selling and not what Ben Shapiro is selling, because it's been a complete utter failure for the past 40 fucking years. But yeah, like pack it up, Ben. You've lost. This war is over. You're not getting anyone back with this correct attempt at trying to shun the fucking Groypers. Nah. He's done the thing that he's been wanting to do for a long time. That's been mainstreaming himself and mainstreaming his fucking ideas. So it's pretty much wallahi fucking cooked for people like Ben Shapiro that shit like this is fucking happening. Now, of course, it could just be because of how loud and annoying neo-Nazis are online. That could also be the fucking case, but it's not hyperbolic or ridiculous to say that nobody is interested in the shit that Ben Shapiro is selling anymore. Not anymore. No one wants neoliberalism. No one wants neocons. That shit's fucking over. And, neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes is just saying this because he's a fucking liar. And he just hates Jews. That's really about it. But yeah, in terms of this, like, popularity contest spat, Ben's fucking lost. And he helped also create this environment. Don't think there's much else to say besides that.